welcome to LogansStory. Today we're going to talk about the one and only greatest theme park to ever hit the face of the planet, Epcot. We're going to talk about it right now. Hello, I'm Logan Shaw. Welcome to LogansStory. And as you guessed it, we're going to talk about one of the greatest theme parks ever to hit the face of the earth. Why are we talking about Epcot? Logan, you're crazy. Let's not talk about this. I don't want to talk. What do you mean you don't want to talk about this? Just sit there. Let's talk about it, okay? We have a couple of things we're going to discuss here. It's pretty simple and it's pretty outlaid and it's going to be pretty cool. So just sit there and let's talk about it as we go along, okay? Epcot was probably elated from Walt Disney's original vision for it. So instead of it being a working city, and if you haven't heard already, this place was supposed to be a working city. A city! That means air conditioning. That means people, vehicles, ways of different ways of transportation. Imagine Florida, but like New York. Not the Florida we know now. Yeah, not that Florida. But the point is, and this is what I want to get across to you, is the fact is Epcot being the way it is obviously open for a lot of discussion, which means something, doesn't it? We should talk about 5 main things. These 5 main things are going to happen right now. So it's actually going to be 3 things. I apologize. Sometimes I get a little too carried away and too excited. It's going to be 3 things. Now that I have you here, I might as well just tell you what the plan is. I'm making these things called theme park reviews, where I essentially do the same things I do with the Pixar Movie reviews or the Disney Renaissance reviews, and I kind of put a worldview spin on it, on what it all means in terms of psychologically for the human race. So with that being said, I'm just going to leave it there. Oh, also, Cars 2 is the next Pixar movie review coming out. And trust me, every Pixar movie review is going to come out every Saturday until Soul. So keep an eye out for those. And I really enjoy watching my own videos, I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm hoping that a lot of people enjoy watching these too. So with that being said, I'm just going to continue on with the video. Oh, also, one more thing. If you haven't even subscribed and you're watching this channel, go ahead and subscribe. You may like it. You never know. Give your taste to something else other than what's generally given to you on YouTube. Maybe you'll like me. Or like people who are like me, you know? Just a little thought. Okay, I'm done. I'm leaving. First thing I want to talk about, you guessed it, the beginnings. Where did this all start out? What was the original intent for this park or place? What does Epcot even mean? Yeah, experimental prototype community of tomorrow. That's what it means. It's pretty great, isn't it? But what does experimental prototype community of tomorrow? Well, it's in the name. Experimental, meaning the idea of experimenting was said community, which means being able to express the ideas in terms of the future for that community of tomorrow, expressing per se the future. Do you see what I mean? This, yes, is a park, could be a game changer back in 1966, back when Walt Disney didn't have time to see his vision come to through. What was supposed to be a city ended up being a theme park. This year, yes, this year, is when it opened. And these probable, questions about why this park didn't end up the way it is actually because, well, Walt Disney wasn't there to see it come to fruition. He wasn't there to make the designs. He wasn't there to make the plans. He wasn't there to foresee things. And the Imagineers, knowing they don't have the wherewithal to make something like this come to life, decided not to do it. Now, even though that could be a little bit detrimental in some cases, it's actually very, very great that they didn't do something like that. Because what if they messed up? What if something happened? We're talking about a city. We're not talking about 1955 Disneyland. We're talking about an entire city. This place was meant to be a city. Now, let's get into the second thing. Maybe there's been a couple weird things that's happened in Epcot as a result. Maybe, yes, there's a lot of things that could have been changed. But that's going to lead me into the second thing. What are the middle years? What does that kind of look like? The 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Well, when I was growing up, I remember going to Disney World when I was 3 or 4 years old. And that was the first time I saw the Epcot ball. We called it the Epcot ball because we didn't know what it was called. It's actually a ride inside of there. Somebody told me there's a ride inside of there. I don't even know. I think it's called Spaceship Earth or something. The middle years is what makes it so grained and what makes Epcot grow as it is. The way Epcot is now is a result of the beginning to the middle years. Take, for instance, this YouTube channel. I've grown a little bit, which means that the idea of me growing as a substantiary product in terms of, making this channel so big where, I would need to sell, products. That means my art that's not that good is gonna be on your shirts one day. That's the hope. That's the plan. That's the hope. I'm just hoping it. The let's go into detail. A couple of the catchphrases I've made up through these YouTube channels. Listen, that's not the point. That's not the point, okay? The point is, everything takes time to grow. Quentin Tarantino took time to grow. Walt Disney, time to grow. Martin Luther King, time to grow. Malcolm, time to grow. Every single thing that you ever heard and whatever here as a result in terms of the final product took time to grow. So why am I saying this for Epcot? Because, well, I haven't been there yet. But judging by the soundtrack, which is pretty fucking dope, dog, they got me at the first chord. The first chord, dog. This soundtrack, you haven't listened to it? Go ahead and listen to it. It's pretty good. But listen, my point is, you gotta understand the idea of trying to build off of something that's not there. Trying to build from nothing. A lot of young people don't have that ability to build off from nothing. You feel me? Now here's the third thing. Okay, go on into the third thing. You have the building blocks. You have the designs. How are you going to make a land that's immersive in all cases? Well, you got to take into consideration of something great, something beautiful, something capable of being such, and something more important than what you could possibly imagine. The building blocks for the future, stacked on top of each other. That's something that we can do as a people. That's what Walt Disney wanted to do. That's what every ancient Egyptian wanted to do. That's what everyone in this human civilization is going to continue to do unless something were to halt it. And the only thing so powerful to halt something like that is the God himself. So in which case, to build for the future means, well, simply building from the ground up, building from nothing. And we can do this. It's simple. It's great. And going from what this guy said, it's possible and it's probable. So in which case, if it is possible, we can do it. It's one of the best things we can obviously express at this point, because to be able to build from nothing, that's beautiful. And to do it for yourself and by yourself, my gosh, I mean, frick, we could be able to do anything at this point. Build empires, build theme parks beyond Epcot, build beyond what we could possibly imagine. And that being as it may, and that being a very good reason as it may, is all the more reason to do such. Please take this into consideration, because at the end of the day, it's going to be taken into consideration. So, with that being said, have a nice day. Thank you for coming to Logan's Story. I appreciate you guys coming. I hope to see you more and more as the videos continue. There's going to be more theme park reviews as time goes on. Remember one thing, growth is a process. If you're not to where you need to be now, you will be later. Just keep going and keep pushing and you'll get there. Thank you for coming and have a blessed day.